We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie,
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu, rocking it as always.
He is glad to be here.
And we are on the road with Mickey. This is episode 193 for November 6, 2023, and our feature topic this week is our top 3 things we like about Main Street, USA. This is the conclusion of our top three things series for the lands of the Magic Kingdom. We have covered every single one of them, and now we are ending with what I think is the best land in the Magic Kingdom, but that's just my opinion. Main Street, USA. So we will get to that in just a little bit. First, though, we have some cheddar from the Big Cheese. And Sophie, you get to start us off this week.
Well, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas because Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is going to run its first event in 3 days, people. This is coming out November 6th. The first party is going to be November 9th, 2023, and it is going to be running all the way through January 1st of 2024. There are a lot of great treats planned for this year's event, so y'all and I had better go check them out.
Yep.
That's right.
All
Fun.
right.
I can't wait to go.
I have some Disney related, but not directly Disney cheddar. I get
Yeah.
an email from a company called Attractions Magazine. And in it, I saw a really neat story about an upcoming auction at the Van Eaton Galleries in California that features a slew of Disney memorabilia, including a very special painting of Disneyland's Main Street train station by Charles Boyer. And that is lot 1005. And it just sucked me in because this painting you're looking at, it's like you're standing outside of Disneyland looking at the Mickey head and seeing the train station, and it's like you were right there. This auction is running from November 11th to November 12th, so it's coming up this weekend. Um, and if you want to look at the offerings, you can go to a website that we have in the notes that will take you straight to it, and you'll be able to look at the catalog and everything like that. But it's not, Walt Disney World or anything like that. But I thought it was really neat, and I thought it was worth checking out. So
That's neat.
yeah, it's really kind of cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that all of our listeners already know this, but in case you don't know it, the filming for the Christmas Morning Disney Parade is not done on Christmas Day. It is filmed well in advance, even though we get to watch it on Christmas morning, which is awesome.
Yeah.
This year, it will most likely be happening on November 11th and 12th in the Magic Kingdom. So if you're going to be in the parks that day, you might plan for not being able to get around so well when you come in the park, or you might want to just stay and watch it if it's not going to ruin it for you. These dates are always subject to change, though, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's our cheddar for this week. We have,
Some
of
listener
course,
feedback.
yeah, of course, we have our ways of connecting with us, but we have a lot of listener feedback from last week. Favorite villain, we had a ton of responses. So I'll start us off, and why don't we just go through and, just kind of go around so I'm not the only one talking. How's that
All
sound?
right.
All
Who's
right.
going first?
I'll go first. My sister Robin had some feedback. She said Gaston from Beauty and the Beast is Lindsay's favorite villain. Captain Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean is hers. And then she said, Arg, matey. Parlay? I'm like, no, I'm not going to parlay with you.
Oh.
So who's going next?
I'll go next. And the next two actually had the very same answers. Well, mostly the same answers. Lee said Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, which I can agree with. She just doesn't get enough hissing for my money. And Lori also said Yzma. However, Lori also mentioned Croc, the TikTok Croc, the bowler hat guy, who we know as Michael Yagubian, and Professor Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective.
Nice.
All
Well,
right.
Cindy said Jafar from Aladdin, both the original and the live action remake, and also Cruella de Vil from Cruella, because her backstory gives a new insight into her personality.
Yeah.
I have to
Agreed.
say, I think that's a very interesting answer because I don't always associate live action Cruella as a villain. She's more of an anti hero to me.
Yeah. But
But
that's
I
okay.
suppose she is meant to be a villain.
Yeah. Now I'm going to skip Sheila. I'll let you read Sheila, Sophie, but I'm going to read Chandler because Chandler had some thoughts also about Cruella, and this is what he said. He said Cruella, in both animated form and the live action version, when we learned her backstory, it's the backstory that kind of endeared me to her. So that is kind of
Ah.
neat. It's all about the backstory, and that's what Disney does
Mm-hmm.
so well is backstories.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. There's just
for
no other
sure.
comparison to Disney backstories.
Yeah. Disney has some good backstories. Sheila said she added Ursula and the Queen of Hearts as her favorites.
Great.
Mhm.
And Chrissy said Maleficent, woo, same as me, and Hades.
Ooh, Hades is a good one. He's
Yeah,
pretty
Yeah.
underappreciated. And you know what? Considering he is the literal Greek god of death and stuff like that, I think he might be the oldest villain, not Mother Gothel.
mm,
Yeah. I'm
that
just
could be
going on the
true.
fandom site. So, but anyway, and lastly, John is a friend of ours from way back because his daughter and Sophie danced together when they did ballet.
Sweet.
That's how long this friendship goes. He said, "Since I lived on a river for many years as a preteen, teenager, and through college, also living near Lake Michigan, I have to go with Captain Hook."
All
That is a
right.
good answer.
Yeah. So,
Thank y'all so much.
yeah, thank you so much. We love the feedback. It just is so much fun for us.
Yeah.
So we'll try and keep it going. So next week, I'm going to post about the top 3 things we like about Main Street. I want to hear what you like. So get ready to give us more feedback, people.
That's right.
But now it's time to move on to our feature topic. And we are taking a look at the top 3 things we like about Main Street, USA. So
All
here's what we
right.
came up with. Sophie, you start us off, and we're just going to go around and around like normal.
All right. Well, if I have to be honest, Main Street USA is not exactly what I think of when I think of my favorite land in the Magic Kingdom. I know, shocker. But that's
Okay.
because there aren't really any rides there unless you count the trolley car.
Or the
That
train.
be Yes, that's true. Or the train. That being said, Main Street does have some of the best qualities in the park, but for me, I am just going to go with the overall design of Main Street for my 3 things that I like about it. And there are key details, even about that general design, that really need to be highlighted. And the first one I'm actually going to say is just the color of the pavement. So listen here, there's a reason for this. You know, when you walk down Main Street and it has that sort of clay red slash pink color to it?
Okay.
There is a reason for that. When they were designing it, they specifically made it so that the street of Main Street would wear out the red receptors in our eye, so they would become fatigued. And as a result, the green receptors would be working overtime to make all of the leaves and foliage appear even more vibrant.
Huh.
Yes,
So
and
it's a science behind it, huh?
it is. It's a design thing. There is so much about Main Street that is really an optical illusion, and I quite like it. And that is just the first detail that I mentioned.
All right. Make sure you put that in the show notes, please.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I am going to go next, and thank you so much um, about that. I am going to stick with what I know. And the things that I know is the first thing I like about Main Street. And these aren't, I guess this is in order, but for me, I'm going to say the Walt Disney World Railroad and the stop there. Um, there's so much um, about it, about that area, because you got the train, obviously, you get on the train, but you've also got the platform looking over Main Street. So there's just incredible stuff that you can see there and incredible pictures that you can take. You also um, you have the way that you go underneath the tracks as you're getting in when you're getting before you get to there. But I think for the most part, I think it's just the fact that it just you feel like you've turned back in time, and
Yeah.
you're
I
in an
can
old.
turn back time.
There you go. Keep
Do
going, Brenda.
it. Oh
Gotta have a
goodness.
little share in the show.
Yep. So anyway, is you turn back time, and then you're back in the 1800s. It feels like for a train station, and
Late
and
1800s, yeah.
and then you get on the train and you just enjoy that ride.
Hmm.
Gosh, enjoy that ride, people.
Enjoy the ride.
So
Yes.
so it's the Walt Disney World Railroad Station at Main Street, USA for
All
number one.
right.
All right, Brenda.
No, I'm going to read straight from my notes because I don't want to leave anything out. But for my first one, I'm going with feeling, of course, because you know who I am. That feeling I get when I emerge from the tunnel under the Walt Disney World Railroad and step into the turn of the century American Main Street, USA. That lasts through every step I take, including the sights of the cast member with the balloons, until I have made it all the way up to the beautiful, magnificent, breathtaking Cinderella Castle. It's the tug at my heartstrings that says, I am home.
There you go. Make sure you copy and paste that into the notes because I tried to
Yeah.
type and I got stopped at under the tunnel. you know,
It's that
my mouse is
feeling.
a little slow and he can't type as fast as Brenda can
Ah.
spell.
Listen, nobody can type as fast as Aunt Brenda can talk.
No, no, but I
I
love
have
that, Brenda.
tried.
I love that, Brenda.
But it's the truth. It's that feeling.
Yeah.
It's that you know you're home. Like you've waited however long since your last trip and
Mm,
it's just that feeling of knowing that you're actually back
Yeah.
yeah.
or there for the first time.
Hmm.
It's, you know what? It's been forever since I've been at Disney for the first time.
Yeah, us
I
too,
can,
Yeah.
but
I want to try and imagine what it would be like being there for the first time because I was a little girl when that happened, so I don't remember it very well.
Well,
yeah.
I will remind you of something on one of mine
Okay.
that wasn't that long ago.
No.
So
Hmm.
that'll be my number two. So you go ahead and give us your number two, Sophie.
All
Uh,
right. My number two, then. Again, back to the overall just design of Main Street. And I will say, this next one, actually applies, I think, to the rest of Walt Disney World as well. Whenever you see this high rise, multi story building, and that is the way that Disney makes use of something called forced perspective.
That's right.
Force
Yes,
perspective is
it
awesome.
is an architectural phenomenon, if that makes sense. And it's meant to make the buildings appear taller than they are, just so it doesn't feel like you're looking at a tiny building, or so that in order to get them to be that height, because a lot of these buildings, if you look, you'll see the storefront, you'll see a row of windows above it, and then you'll see another row of windows up near the roof most of the time. And if they were built to the actual scale, first of all, they would be so tall, there would be no way for the trees to cover them from somewhere like Adventureland, where you don't even know that you are right next door to Main Street. And at the
Mhm.
same time, I feel they would also look slightly different if they were built to scale, and they would actually feel more like something like New York, where you got that concrete jungle and the canopy that's sort of covering
Mhm.
out the sky. You can clearly see the sky from Main Street. And so the way they do that is as they go up a story, they actually decrease the scale of the building slightly. So obviously on the first floor, it is completely to scale. It's just one on one. And then the next floor above that, they will decrease it slightly from 8 out of 8 scale to 5 out of 8 scale. And then by the time you reach the third floor, it is already half the height of the original first floor. And it is so interesting to think about because you don't realize it, but once you know about it, it's hard not to think about it.
Exactly.
Yep, that's true.
All
So that's
right.
that.
Well, that's a good
Nice.
one, Sophie. Forced perspective is so cool.
Yep.
It is.
All right.
So what
So
about
number
you?
2 on my list um, is a memory, and I think it kind of works as almost a feeling of being almost like being there for the first time. Okay. Because I'm taking us back to July 2020 when we went after reopening. Okay.
Mm,
And the crowd levels were at like 10%, 15% or something like that.
yeah.
And and it, we we made that morning we made a dinner reservation to eat at Tony's on Main Street just because we hadn't had any sit down anything, and we're like, let's just do that, and they were open, so we were able to make that reservation, and we did so, and we had a lovely meal, and excuse me, my throat, I feel like I got a cough.
As long as you're not like choking up or anything.
No, I'm not choking up, it's just a tickle.
All
But
right.
anyway, I think I'm better
Ragweed.
now. Yeah. So we ate our meal and we came out onto the front porch where you after you exit Tony's and you're on the right hand side of town square, and we came out at the perfect time for the music to be playing, and the music was the music from Up.
Mm.
And I sat down in the rocking chair. It felt like I had just finished dinner at home and walked out onto the front porch to relax on the front porch
Nice.
because there was so few people. It was
Great
like we
feeling.
were there by ourselves, and it was just incredible. And that music from Up is just absolutely the perfect music for that area. And I even did a Facebook Live. I said, here we go. I am going to say nothing. We're just going to enjoy walking down Main Street. And we did. And so people
Yeah.
could hear the music. And it was so incredible. It felt like the first time we had been there.
Because we didn't know if we were going to be going back. That was the hardest time ever for people who love Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, we
So,
didn't know if we were going to be, you know.
right.
Yeah.
So that was a feeling that was very recently. And it was a really cool feeling to have that moment, when we were able to be there. And it was We talk about grace and grace alone, and that's exactly what that was. That was grace, because we were going to go in March, and then they closed, and then we were going to go in May, and they were still closed, and then we're like, well, let's push it to July and see what happens. And it was grace that they opened up 2 days before we got there. They reopened like 2 days before we got there.
Fabulous.
And so that's exactly what it was. It was grace. It wasn't because we are special and that we are allowed to be there. That it was pure grace, you know. And it was a great, great trip. Still one of the top trips I've ever had to Walt Disney World.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yay.
so to
Yeah.
me, Sophie, I feel like that is kind of the feeling of that first time there, kind of in some ways. Even though it
You know
wasn't
what?
our first time, it felt like it because it was like they had just opened just for us. That's
I
my
think
point.
I would agree with that.
Nice.
So that was a great. That was just really cool for me. It's just that feeling of town square.
Nice.
And that's a
Yep,
great
I
thing to
understand
like
that
about
feeling.
Main Street because it's special to Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to get back. I can't wait to get back. I got what 33 for 30, I don't know, 36 days or something. I don't know. But I can't wait to be back. Oh my gosh, it's killing me.
I want to be back too, Aunt Brenda.
So sweet. I love it. Well, I'm gonna jump. I was telling Mike and Sophie before the show started that I literally just wrote everything down that I love about Main Street USA, put it in a list because I couldn't decide which ones to talk about and just close my eyes and let a pen just land on one. So this next one I'm jumping I'm jumping over a little bit, but it's the beautiful Crystal Palace restaurant. And the beautiful Crystal
Yeah.
Palace restaurant reminds me of an iconic building that I grew up with in Galveston called the Garten Verein. The Garten Verein was built with it was it was built by German men in Galveston. Beautiful building, and only the German families
Ooh,
could
sorry.
use it. It was like an exclusive kind of club, or I don't know. But the building is just a beautiful Victorian building with just windows all around it. And that Crystal Palace just reminds me of it so much. It's just there's some connection I feel to it. But the Crystal Palace is bright, light-filled, and spacious. It's got the beautiful architecture from the Victorian era, and then all the windows around. It just reminds me so much of the Garten Verein. And as you enter, there's a whimsical character topiary in the center, for your 100-acre woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then the buffet, I mean, the buffet is delicious too. So it's just like it's kind of a favorite place for many reasons. But even when we're in, Frontierland or Adventureland, and we're walking back toward the front, like to leave the park, every time I see it, my mind just says beautiful. It's just beautiful to me.
Yeah.
It's one of
It
the beautiful
absolutely
buildings
is.
in the park.
It
So
absolutely is. And you're right. You're walking, even if you're just walking by and don't have a reservation, the beauty of the outside facades just draws your eye to it,
yeah,
you
Yeah.
know?
yes.
So you're right.
So that's one.
And there have been times when I've heard people talk about how a buffet is just a buffet. But I don't get it, because I love a buffet, and I know character breakfasts and character meals are generally all going to be buffets for the most part.
Yeah.
But to me, the buffet there and a lot of the Disney restaurants, the buffet is just incredible. So much variety, so many choices.
It
So
is. It is
so
one of the
that is a
best
really
buffets for
good.
sure.
It is a really good buffet.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's my
Oh,
number
That
2.
is a great number two.
yeah. All right.
All
So
right, is it my
what's
turn again?
it
Yeah.
is number 3.
All right, then. Well, we are going to a very specific Disney patented invention called a smellitizer.
Oh.
And you will find these all throughout the parks, but the most notable ones you will find on Main Street, and they are hidden in plain sight, let me tell you. So, there is a reason why when you go to a Disney park, it, there is just smells that you associate with it, like Daddy. What's a
Mhm.
smell that you associate with Main Street?
Um, Candy smell, cinnamon, sugar,
Mm-hmm.
you
Would you
know.
say popcorn?
Oh yeah. I
And
would
Diet Coke.
if I thought and wasn't about to drink my Diet Coke, I would have thought about popcorn.
Yep. Well, there's a reason for that. And you will find them. I'm actually going to pull up a picture really quick. So there are these little vents hidden in plain sight in Main Street, USA. One second. Is there Main Street Smellitizer? What on earth? For some reason, Siri thought I was talking to her. Okay. All right. Here. Share screen. All right. So you see in this little rectangular square right here, these
Uh-huh.
blue teal dots. You would think that those are just little decorations that they put into the wall outside of the Candy Palace, but no. What they are is a little vent is hidden in that blue dot that will then hide a contraption that looks something like this. And there are
Wow.
these little shafts within it that hold scent pellets that gradually release the scent out of the vent and into the street. And they will oftentimes outside the Candy Palace and confectionery, they will have vanilla scents with a little mix of popcorn in it. They literally have these different elements that they then mix together to form almost like a perfume that they gradually release into the street, just so you think you're smelling the real thing instead of getting hit with a whiff of fragrance all at
Nice.
once. So
Nice.
they will include vanilla, uh, popcorn. Those are the two associated with Main Street. But actually, for Christmas time, happy holidays, they're going to be switching over to a peppermint scent. And then you can find them everywhere. They have the same things in Pirates of the Caribbean with sea salt. And of course, there's the bromine that they keep in the water rides to keep the water sanitized. That gives a better smell than chlorine that we usually associate with water.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, good
Awesome.
stuff,
Yes,
Sophie. And
just
if
the
you want
entire
the
thing is a huge architectural feat.
Yeah, and if you want the whole thing, if you want the real McCoy scent, then just go over to the popcorn station right before the exit of the park over by the by town hall and buy yourself some popcorn and just say, "Hey, I want to wait till you make some new ones." And then oh my gosh, that one does not need a smellitizer because
Not at
that one is
all.
really good.
I know, but there
But
probably
this
is a smellitizer nearby.
It probably is, and I've been thinking it's the popcorn all along when it's really just a smellitizer.
Hey, it's a genuinely delicious popcorn. It's good.
This is very true.
Yeah, it's
So
really good.
great
Everything's
stuff,
better at Disney.
Sophie.
Thank you.
Sophie, yeah, everything is better at Disney. And Sophie has done some really good research on this.
I actually
Hmm.
have not researched a single thing. This is just stuff I know off the top of my head.
Well, it feels like a lot of research.
Eh,
So, anyway, number 3 for me, um, I talked about the music and the feeling in Town Square, just being there, all that. And there's other music, there's the Dapper Dans coming down, singing. Um, there is the piano guy um, who plays over by Casey's, right outside of Casey's,
Yeah.
and I love that. But, but I think for me, the third thing that I'm going to talk about is actually Casey's because Casey's is such an iconic Main Street location. It's a perfect Main Street restaurant.
it is.
You want a hot dog? you go to Casey's. You you know, you think back to when I was a kid and they had the bleachers and you could watch the old ball games while you're eating your hot dog. It was like you were at the ball game. You
Yeah,
got your hot dog, you sat in the bleachers, you watched the old videos, and you enjoyed your lunch, and it was just so neat. Um, and it's a little bit different now, but the feeling of Casey's of being there and getting your getting your hot dog and just enjoying moseying down Main Street while you're enjoying your food is that's just a quintessential Main Street thing to me, you
that's
know?
right. Moseying
So,
down Main Street.
yep,
That's what we should have called it. Moseying down Main Street with Mike, Sophie, and Brenda.
there you
Yeah.
go. so, so there you go. So
I love
that's
that.
Casey's is to me it's a neat establishment and it's neat to get your to get your feels there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so Casey's
Almost
is
as
number
great as almost as great as the Crystal Palace, eh, Brenda?
yeah.
Love it. Yep, love it. And they're right by each other. So, the little chairs outside that are like the little foo-foo chairs with the tables, they go with both.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a great area to hang out. Just like it's just a great area to hang out.
Yeah, it sure is. It
And
sure
speaking of
is.
hanging out, my number 3 is actually hanging out on Main Street, USA, because we always have enjoyed the fireworks in the Magic Kingdom, always. But when they just had fireworks, we could literally watch it from anywhere. We could watch it from the back of the castle or the front of the castle or whatever. But now that they have the fireworks projection shows, the only way to enjoy the whole show is to be sitting on Main Street, USA. Because when the fireworks are on the castle and the projections are on the projections come along the side on all the buildings there on Main Street, USA. And that's another thing I love about Main Street, USA is sitting there and enjoying that show, especially with some hot cocoa, which I'm going to be doing
Yeah.
soon.
Lucky. Mm.
Oh gosh.
There you go. I know. Speechless, right?
Oh, Brenda, you're a hoot. We love having you on the show.
I love her so
Oh.
much.
Yeah,
I wish I was at Disney now.
I know.
Oh,
That's the
don't we
problem with doing
all?
these things is we wish we were
Oh,
there, you know?
yes. Yes.
Oh well.
Oh well. That's okay. So
So
is
worth it.
that it? Is there any does anyone have any honorable mentions they want to bring up?
Mm. Well, I
Well,
mean, of
I'll,
course there are all the windows.
Yeah, the
yeah.
Main Street windows, which are dedications. They're not just a window giving a little
No.
history. They are dedications to cast members,
That's
Yes.
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
And I am sorry to say I don't give them enough appreciation. I don't spend as much time looking at them as I feel like I ought to. So,
Well, we do what we can. I
yeah.
have to give an honorable mention to the Main Street Ice Cream Parlor because they have that
Mm.
brownie sundae there.
Mhm.
I love it so much. And that ice cream parlor is like an old-timey ice cream parlor, like, turn of the
Yeah.
century ice cream parlor kind of thing. And I just love the theming that they, you know, have put it on Main Street USA in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. And it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were there for the Halloween party, Brenda,
Mhm.
um Sophie and Sheila and Randy and Jagan were in the hub and they had gotten really good spots for the parade.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
was like, I need to sit in a chair. I was ready to sit in a chair. We had been going all day,
Oh
all
yeah.
night,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it was good time to go sit in a chair. So Cindy went with me, and we went and sat in the seating outside of the plaza.
Mhm.
Where you can just sit, and we still had a pretty good view of the parade as it came by. But before the parade started, she said, "I'll be right back." And I'm like, okay. So I was just hanging out, and she went. And what I didn't know is she went to the ice cream parlor and bought
Ooh.
the brownie sundae, and we split the thing.
Yay!
And that thing was
Oh my
so
goodness.
good.
I
And
It
don't
is so
remember you telling me
good.
that.
I'm like, you know what? We don't have to tell
Yeah.
Sophie we had this.
Well, no
Yeah.
wonder.
And calories don't count at Disney, so you're covered.
Hey, see if
Exactly.
I share any of my Halloween candy with you.
You can have your Starburst pops. They are all yours, baby. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Now, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Exactly.
Yay!
Oh,
So
Oh,
anyway, that was a great memory, just
yeah,
enjoying ice cream with my honey.
that's right.
It's just some things just can't be better than that.
Yep.
So anyway, so that was a great feature topic, and I love Main Street, and so
mhm.
it's just a really 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 cool. Ah, you're right. It just brings all the feels in, and
Yeah.
you feel like you're there. So,
All right
Yeah.
then.
all right. Well,
Anything
that
else?
that I think concludes our feature topic, and so that takes us to this day in Disney history. So, Sophie,
All right.
go for it. November 6th, what you got?
November 6th, 1946. Walt Disney writes his annual birthday letter to his younger sister Ruth, who will turn 43 on December 6th. I know what you're thinking, but this is in November. I double checked myself.
Mhm.
The letter and its enclosed check is being sent earlier than usual because he is leaving this day for the premiere of Song of the South in Atlanta, Georgia. Walt explains how after the premiere he'll be flying up to New York to board the Queen Elizabeth for a trip to England and Ireland. He will be gathering background material in Ireland for a new picture about leprechauns.
Wow.
Nice.
Did that actually come to fruition?
I do believe that. I'm actually not sure. I'm doing some research about it now.
Okay. Let me know when you're done because it's
The
time
Luck
to
of the
stump.
Irish,
Is that what it
I
was called?
think. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, because that came out in 2001. Mm,
Not everything made it.
not everything made it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are you ready to stump the Soph?
Good luck.
Go right ahead and try.
All right.
I'm definitely trying. And this one might be more interesting and might be a little bit harder because of the movie.
Oh,
So that might be a clue without being a clue.
Might be a clue without being a
You're
Mm.
clue.
welcome.
this is not Maui. I know it's
No, it's
not.
not Maui, but Maui fits in everywhere.
Yes, I can
So
agree with that.
this character is a 14-year-old genius.
Go on.
This character can build anything.
Is this Lewis from Meet the Robinsons? I thought
No,
we already did him.
it has nothing to do with Meet the Robinsons.
Okay. 14-year-old genius. Hero from Big Hero 6?
Exactly.
Yay!
Hero, what's Hero's last name?
Hamada.
Oh my.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
What's his brother's name?
Tadashi.
What's his aunt's name?
Cass.
Oh my
What's
gosh.
what's the inflatable guy's name?
Baymax.
What is the girl who is one of the mechanical engineering students' names?
Okay, so we got Gogo, Wasabi, Fred, Honey Lemon, and is
Oh
that
my
the only one?
That's
gosh.
them.
Yep.
Golly. Who's Mr. Yama?
Mr. Yama?
Uh-huh. He is the undisputed champion of the bot fighting scene. See,
Oh,
I knew you didn't know anything. Good job, Sophie. Yeah, look
Yay!
at my screen.
That girl.
I am
Give me
impressed,
high
honey.
10.
Wow. Yes, the character is Hiro Hamada from Big Hero 6. You got it, honey.
Fantastic.
I'm always proud of you. Did you know that?
aw.
Me
I
too.
love you too,
Do
Daddy.
you know how old Hiro was when he graduated from high school?
13.
Yeah. Do you know that do you know what Baymax's scan of Hiro shows he's allergic to?
Not peanuts.
Yes, peanuts.
Oh,
Slightly allergic to peanuts.
got it.
What does Hiro love as far as food? Candy kind of things.
Now that I don't know.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Oh.
Okay.
And Hiro and Tadashi's parents died when Hiro was 3 years old. That's why his Aunt Cass became their guardian. So,
Because it is a Disney movie after all.
yeah.
And Lord knows they can't have both their parents.
So,
in a
Hiro
Disney
Hamada.
movie.
Hiro Hamada from Big Hero 6. Great
All right.
job,
That is
Sophie.
Thank you.
fantastic. Yay!
Impressed.
Yep.
You know, I might have been able to come up with Hero, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, wow, that's a smart kid. What's his name?
Exactly. That's
What I would have been like, you know? Oh,
And if you're new to the show, it's not because Big Hero 6 is Sophie's all-time favorite movie, so she knows everything about it.
No,
It's
that
just
would be
one of a billion
Fantasia.
movies she knows everything about.
yeah. Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Well, Brenda,
Uh,
you're closing us out with a little bit of Walt. So
well,
what do you
Walt
got
is
today?
the only thing that could close us out after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Main Street, USA is America at the turn of the century, the crossroads of an era. The gas lamps and the electric lamp, the horse-drawn car and auto car. Main Street is everyone's hometown, the heartline of America.
Yep.
Walt Disney.
The man.
The
Ah,
man. And
man.
also, I did a little bit of research and I found the movie that I think my history was referring to.
Ah,
It is called Darby O'Gill and the Little People. It is a live action type of movie. It was released in 1959 by Walt Disney Productions.
Wow.
Mhm.
Nice.
put that in the show notes in case anybody can find that and
Yeah.
wants to watch it. Thank you.
All right. I'll just put the Wikipedia link underneath my thing.
Thank
Well,
you.
sorry to interrupt.
Thank
No,
you.
that's good. That's good. So that concludes us for this week, people. And
Mhm.
next week we have one more topic regarding different areas of Disneyland's, you know, whatever you want to call it, depending on the park. So next week, ladies, I want to talk about the most underappreciated land at Disney. It can be at Magic Kingdom, it could be at Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Animal Kingdom. You could go to California Adventure, you could go to Disneyland, you can go to any of the parks to choose the most underappreciated land in your opinion. And
Okay.
give us some reasons why. I don't know if we need to do 5 reasons or what, but give us some reasons why. So, Brenda, any thoughts?
I have a question. Are we
Yeah.
talking
Yes.
about underappreciated by the guests or underappreciated by Disney?
I'm thinking underappreciated based on your opinion, regardless of how that comes to be.
Okay. All right. Good.
So, you could say that the American Adventure is underappreciated because everybody just blows by it to get to the Germany train station
Okay.
or something like that. Whatever, I mean.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay.
So it covers the whole gamut, whether it's called a land or a neighborhood or a country or
A pavilion.
whatever, a pavilion or whatever it's called.
it is.
Perfect.
Yeah. So let's talk about the most underappreciated land at Disney. And that's gonna I gotta put my
Ooh.
thinking cap on, because that to me sounds really hard.
Yeah, I'm
Sounds
currently
really hard,
thinking
and
about
I
it
don't
right
have my
now.
hats are at home. Otherwise I'd put one on right now.
Yeah, but if you had your hat on, it would cover that beautiful
There you
wreath that's
go.
right across Main Street, and I just love that photo so
No,
much.
this hat would actually cover just the things on either side of that wreath, so it's
There you go.
okay.
Oh, that one would.
it
That
on,
one would
Sophie.
be perfect. Yes.
Put that thinking hat on. There we go.
There you go.
You can't see my ears.
That's
Oh, wow.
okay.
Oh.
So there you go, people. That's what we're talking about. I hope everyone has a great week. We hope everyone has a great week. You know?
Yeah.
No
Yep.
matter where you are, what you're doing, we hope you have a great time doing it. Just keep everyone that is down and out in your thoughts and prayers. Remember them. Remember what's going on across the country, across the world, and just keep
Yeah.
everyone, in your prayers on that. And just have a great week, people. And I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. And he's Grogu. And we will
See you
you
on,
on
the
the
road.
road. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.